What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Mixer here on my first high quality tutorial. Usually do it on my phone, but I'm gonna go ahead and do it this way. You know what I'm saying? For the first time. Basically, got a song here by Maestro and Ross Augusta, called "This Christmas." You know, for the Christmas season. It's a hot little hip hop R&B type joint. So, what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna play it from the intro to the end of the first verse. Um, Ross is on the first verse, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it and let you hear it. And then after that, I'm gonna let y'all know, how what I got so far and what I did with it and why I did, and why I choose the plugins. So check this out.
Whoa, bright lights cover the town. Sip hot cocoa while the snow falling down. And love, joy spreading around. Let's make this a perfect Christmas. Only with you, baby, with you. When we all alone, you know I know what to do. When you hit my line, you know I'm coming down. When I'm pulling up, you take your time out the house. I'm feeling your vibe, I know you're feeling my vibe. When you hit my line, you know I know what time it is. And at the night time, I see your soul come alive. Yeah. Bright lights.
All right, there you have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not done with it yet, though. I basically got like a basic mix on it with with the plugins. Still got to add that extra to it, that mixer board extra to it, that mixer extra to it, not mixer board. But but basically, the first thing I did in the chain was, I listened to it, and then I kind of like, as people do, like you sweep it, give it like real thin, sweep through it, find all the non nuances that you don't want, like any muddiness, boxiness, or that telephone honkiness, whatever, and then that hashing. I took all that out. You know what I'm saying? So I did that. Um, I did that. My bad, y'all. I did that. Um, I took it out at starting at like two something, like 280, and then again at like 460. Because that was the areas that was like muddy. You know, got that muddy feeling to it. You know, so then right here also had it. It just wasn't good. So I took out. Then I took out here at 4. I dipped a little bit here. I dipped the 4 band. I'm sorry, at about 6 kilohertz, 63 around that. Because it had like a little whistle in his on his in his voice on his hand. So I just kind of took it down a little bit. Then I rolled off. I rolled off on it. And how I roll off, I always take it all the way back, and I just keep going until until I start hearing the bass in the heaviness in his voice again. Then I back off of it a little bit more, and then I roll all that off, all that unnecessary rumble. So yeah, I didn't really cut too much either because I did a lot of cutting on the way in on the recording process. So I did like I think one cut on the recording process and a little bit of compression just to control the peaks a little bit, give it like a little bit even because he got some parts where it's like real dynamic. So all of it won't be just like I don't want it all flat even when I was compressing it. So I did that a little bit going in. After I did that, I took the SLP twin tube processor. Now what this does, it gives it like as you can see like saturation. When you just add a little bit of saturation, it really like makes the vocal a little bit more fuller, and it brings out some of that good stuff that you like, what I'm saying, for make that to make that vocal really stick out. And then the harmonics is like the harmonic content, like maybe like on the high end, what I'm saying, bring some of that out. I didn't do all the way. I just went like maybe like 9 o'clock on the A set, and it sounded the best. And then I took it back on the output a little bit so I can gang match it. So, so you know, when I mean by gang match, meaning the level that I did on it, like when I do a level mix, that's the level that I want. So I'm gonna keep that level. So when I do my processing, it's gonna be a little bit louder. So I turn it back down to that level that I want. So that's mean about gang match. So and then after that, I compressed it. I used two 1176s. It was a trick that they had back in the day with like Bobby Osinski, to make the vocals real smooth. You use two 1176s and have one like with like real fast compression on it, letting some of the transients through, and then have another one more slower to catch it. Some of those transients that's coming through, you get like a real smooth sound. You know, I used to do that when I first started reading his books. I used to do that on like other compressors, not 1176s, because I didn't have it at the time. So I used to use like two of the same compressors, and do the same technique that way. So I did that, and once I did that, I end up EQing it. Got like the Waves EQ4. Um, Ross has a actually has a like a his voice not super heavy when he sing, so I just brung out like 180. You know, I went through these and make sure which one, like 180. It's a fixed a fixed frequencies here, so 180 was the best. So I made sure when I EQ like some of the other instruments that 180 was kind of free, so I can really boost right there. So I did like a 4.4 dB plus on it, and then another 4 dB plus on like 820. You know, just to bring out some of that. I can't actually bring this down to about two, because if you do too much of it, it'll really like sound like like a telephone or like a honky effect. If I do too much of boosting of it, and then I boost it like 3.9 to bring out the clarity a little bit more, and I boost that at 5.5 plus, and then on the high end, on crispiness, I boosted at 6.8 on up, and I boost that at like 4.3. So then again, I ended up gang matching it back down to where the original level was. So because if I bring this back up to the default, once I boost all of these, it made the vocals just really like strong, and so. But I liked it the way it sounded when I did it, so I just bring it back down to the level, and I made some adjustments. This was actually at 5, but I brought it down to like 4. This was at 6 at first, and I brought it back down to 4.3. These are only two that I kept the same as far as like the levels, 5.5 dB. So, bear with me, y'all. This is my first tutorial here. So, um, after that, I just grabbed the de-esser, just control the highs a little bit. The highs on here is not too strong, so I just a little bit of it, just control it. Any SHs or CHs, any S's and stuff like that. And then I just hit a limiter on it. You know what I'm saying? At about 10, I right there where the peaks at, just to control it, to stop some of those peaks a little bit more. And then once I did that, everything was like at the level. Then I just raised the overall of that, because if you look here, this is where everything's at. I boosted up about 6 dB. So like all his vocals right here is going into a bus. Like his overlays, I got it sitting all into a bus, and I mixed it at one time, you know. But I leveled everything first, and then sent it all into a bus, and then mix all of them at once, and then I'm gonna adjust some more stuff, not too much. As you can see, I didn't do a lot of processing. Like I got a full mix of good sound with not a lot of processing on it, because a lot of sounds, a lot of the instruments, because this is a tracked out project. It's not a 2-track stereo, so a lot of the instruments that I felt that sounded the same in frequency, I just put them. I put those ones in like in a bus in a bus track, like 2 of the hi-hats here, you know, right here. Then it's the hi-hat bus, snare, the snare bus, so on and so on. So I did that. But as you can see, Ross, his first verse, all his ad-libs and overlays and stuff on the first verse is all on that bus. But yeah, that's it, folks. That's a little something. Expect this to come out in a day or so. When I finish it up, it's gonna sound nice. It's coming out nice right now. So, peace, y'all.
Bright lights cover the town, sip hot cocoa while the snow falling down. And love, joy, spreading around. Let's make this a perfect Christmas. Only with you, baby, with you. When we all alone, I know what to do. When you hit my line, I'm coming down. When I'm pulling up, you take your time out the house. I'm feeling your vibe, I know you're feeling my vibe. When you hit my line, I know what time it is. And at the night time, I see your soul come alive.